Hello, Booktube. This is an original tag. It's the Booktube community tag. So let's jump right into this. Number one is, how long have you been watching Booktube? For me, it's about a year and a half. Maybe slightly more. I'm not quite sure, but around there. I started out looking at some people who collected some nice books, and then found folks that talked about books and what they've been reading, and it built up from there. And how long have you been a booktuber? A little over a year. I created my channel, I think, in the end of June, but I really didn't get started until July, so about a year. Number three, how many countries do you have on your subscribers list? I'm not sure how many countries. There's Canada for sure. I spoke to a gentleman from Italy. Obviously, Elena from Russia. Several folks from the United Kingdom. And I believe just from Ireland. So I'm not entirely sure. So if you're from a country other than the United States, leave a comment down below, and it'll be fun to see where folks are from. And how many different countries of booktubers do I subscribe to? Australia, again, United Kingdom, Russia, I think Italy, I know Canada. So I went through the list. Sometimes I don't even know. But I think that's most of them. You know, when I think, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, England. No, I think I also subscribe to Germany. So it's fun, and that's something I really enjoy, is that we get to have these conversations all over the planet through this platform. Describe how you have your comment section. Do you handle. Describe how you handle your comment sections. Do you have regular conversations with certain people? I try to answer everyone in one way or another. I'm a small enough booktuber, so that's reasonable. Sometimes it'll take me a week and a half, depending on my schedule. I'm very, very busy. I run a library all day. I'm Parks and Rec chair. I'm work on a town forest commission. I'm a board of governors for a public access television station. I can't even keep up with all the things I'm on and doing. And then every committee there is with the library and the public interaction with the library. So sometimes it does take me a week and a half or so. Sometimes it takes me a week. Sometimes down in the morning, I've got a little time, I can do it right next day or the same day. It just depends. But I do, and the second part of the question is, do you have regular conversations with certain people? Certainly do. People who don't have booktube channels also. People who have them and people who don't. And some of those names are familiar to other booktubers. There's a whole community out there of people who watch, comment, think about what we're saying and what we're doing. And they really, really bring an extra level to this. So I sometimes just know them by a handle, their name or their channel name or how they're commenting. So I can think of many, and they are greatly appreciated. Number 5, do you interact with booktubers on other social media than YouTube? If so, what? Now, I do a little bit. I'm not a great social media guy. I don't do Facebook. I mean, my library has a Facebook page. My wife maintains one that has my name on it, and I never look at it. A lot of times it's family information. But I got tired years and years ago of the political comments and religion comments and courtesy things that were lacking. So I don't need the aggravation. But I do... I did just sign up, I think it's called Voxer, for a project that Steve Donoghue doing. He's having us read Brewster's Millions. So I'm signed up. I'm on it, and I'm totally confused. But I'll figure it out in time for his project. I have tried Twitter. I don't get anywhere with it. So the next question, do you rely on some booktubers for recommendations? I do. I watched quite a bit of Booktube, and that was one of the great advantages for me because my schedule is so hectic and so it's sporadic. I go from spot to spot, that type of things, like a lot of people. I find the convenience of those channels like SFF 180 or something like that, where I can sit down, watch it, know I'm going to get a bunch of new books. Steve Donoghue, where I know I'm going to get a bunch of new books. I'm going to see what's coming. And in my job, I need to. The publishers should send Steve an extra check because many, many times I'll catch something on a video and then we end up ordering it. So Booktube does drive business. I mean, I'm not the only librarian on Booktube, and of course, individuals buy books. Many, many, many times it influences. In fact, I'd say the majority now. Now, do you interact with other booktubers on email regularly or occasionally? I do quite regularly. Something will come up. We end up emailing back and forth. I think through email that Steve Donoghue coached me through doing a book review for his Open Letters Monthly, which is a great thrill for me. I don't have the time all the time to do it, and I'm certainly not a professional at that, but it was a great joy. And that came out of Booktube through emails. I've emailed with Matt Wall, Todd the Librarian. I've emailed with Ernest Lee Eston, Todd Oval, and all these folks. And Todd, you need to make a channel. So I do, and it can be occasional with some folks, and then it picks up, and then it goes, you know what I mean, but yeah, quite often. With tag videos, do you mix it up, or do you tend to tag the same people? I probably, excuse me, I probably tend to tag the same people. I do try to mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to give you a doozy of a list at the end of this tag of people I'm going to mention, and then we'll see what happens. But I do tend to not mix it up as much as I should, and that's usually because I don't write them down in most cases, and then I'm just stuck on the couch or the chair or wherever I am and trying to come up with what I should have pre-planned a little better. Have you ever mailed books to another booktuber? I have, on several occasions. So, yes, many times. Have you ever received books in the mail from another booktuber? I have. And it's sort of unique in my case because I have received books personally. Just the other day, Todd the Librarian. Week before, some zines by Matt Wall. I have many, many times Steve Donoghue sent me books. And but I also received them from my library. We're a very small library, and it's always been a great joy to get books. And I remember Todd Oval, Steve Donoghue again, Johnny Keene, and more. Folks have sent books to support the library. So, yeah, on both levels. So there's that for sure, and it's much appreciated. Have you ever been visited by another booktuber? I have. I've met and I've visited. I guess this question should be both. Have you visited and have you been visited by other booktubers? And I have. I have been visited by Candace at Beacon Hill Books, which was wonderful. It was great fun. We've been visited up here by Steve Donoghue, and I've visited him down there. So I've met other booktubers and enjoy it very much. It brings a different level. And yes, I got to go to the Brattle, which was pretty neat. Let me see what else here we got. I think I had something else. Oh, do you do buddy reads? I do. And is the next question, is it always with the same people, and are they booktubers? I've done read-alongs, which are different. I've done buddy reads with Elena Makridina, with Ernest Lee Eston. So, yeah, that's been great fun. They, of course, they're booktubers, and like I said, I've been in read-alongs where somebody else is running, where there were Booktube community people who are commenters and don't really make video. They also have been involved. So yeah, I've done that. So yeah, that was that's always been fun. I tend to struggle a little bit with it because it's time again, just like I say, everybody else. So now this has been the Booktube community tag, really focused on how you're interacting as a booktuber with the community. So I'm going to give you a list of some folks that I'm going to call out by name for. Hopefully they'll do this tag. And of course, anybody I miss, I apologize. And please just go ahead and do the tag. So, ready? If I was one of those auctioneers, this would go fast, but I'm not. So, Steve Donoghue, Final Blow Joe, The Restricted Section, Elena Makridina, Matt at Paperback Junky, Todd the Librarian, Peg of Reading and Knitting on the Porch, BNB Books, So I Read, Literary Gladiators, Dane Reads, Sir Book Sage, Candace at Beacon Hill Books, The Medieval Reader, From the Dusty Bookshelf, Biblio Atlas, My Reading Life, Run Right Reads, Curtis Books and Books, Sue's Book Nook, Mel's Bookland Adventures, Strip Cover Lit, Johnny Keene, Paper Bird, Book Cravings, Ernest Lee Eston, Totally Pretentious, C.R. Flames Fan, and Old Blues Chapter and Verse. And the list could, reading it makes me think I'm missing folks that I should have added. So, again, please do it. So I hope you enjoyed this tag, and thank you, Booktube.